Alright, so this night is just getting worse and worse and worse. So the guys here, they're absolutely lovely. They tried to pull the van out using a winch, 7.5 ton van, using a winch, pulling it sideways on one of the rear wheels, which didn't work, obviously.
With the handbrake on.
With the handbrake on, which wasn't good. So that failed. So at that point they said to us, okay, there's nothing we can do. We're leaving you in the middle of nowhere, basically. So I'm like, what are you talking about, leaving us in the middle of nowhere?
They gave us a number though.
They gave us a number to call the tow truck, who basically is like a heavy duty tow truck, who'll be able to sort it out. So I was like, well, you can't leave us here with all the kids and a baby in the middle of nowhere. Like, it's -10 right now, and the van, although the engine's running, etc., and it's warmish, it's, you know, it's dangerous as hell. We're on the side of a road. It's you know. Alright, so
it's the most stressful day of my whole
literally,
life.
this is just not good. So basically they're trying one more manoeuvre to try and pull it out from the front. They tried to pull it out from the back, it didn't work. They've managed to get a tow hook on the front, so they're trying with a winch now to pull it out from the front. It has just moved, so they're repositioning, they're just doing it little bit by little bit. But if this doesn't work, then they're basically leaving us in the middle of nowhere.
And it's going to be 7 hours before anybody.
So basically Sarah and these guys are going to go with the fire guys, if this doesn't work, to the city that's near. It's not near, it's 50 kilometres away. And they'll check into a hotel, and I'll be staying here with the van until until a big tow truck thing can come. However accurate that is, I don't know. He's stopped responding to me as well, so God knows what that's about. So I'm just really hoping that this works now. Really, really hoping that this works. Really hoping this works. Wow, so that's the trench. We got so lucky because what we went into was pure snow, no ground, nothing hard, nothing solid, and we're out, we're free. Oh man, can you see the single track on the road? It's terrible, man. The road is bad here.
Guys, I kid you not, the snow was up to here. It was literally in this grey bit. That's how deep it was. Isabel just slipped out of the van. Oh my, very embarrassed. That's not the first time today. Tell you what though, babe.
The wheels are looking brand new.
How shiny the wheels are. Yeah. Right, we're going to explain properly what happened when we get into this restaurant. We weren't actually planning on stopping here tonight, but the officer...
This is the town where the fire brigade came from.
Yeah, this is how the fire brigade came from, and the fire brigade advised us to stop here tonight because they said the roads tonight are
the next road on to Norway is extremely bad tonight.
No, not extremely. I wasn't looking for that word. Oh. Exponentially. No, well, that's not the one either.
Just extremely is good. It's
yeah. Extraordinarily. No, that's not the one. They're really bad tonight. They're extreme. No, what's the word I'm looking for? I never find the word, it's so annoying.
What you said first time's fine.
I know it's fine, but that's not the word I'm trying to say. And it's really annoying when that happens. Anyway, yeah, the roads are really bad tonight, so to stop at this town and set back off tomorrow morning, so that's what we're doing. Found a little pizza restaurant. We've not had enough pizza this week.
Can we just say, there is not a scratch on the van, not one, anywhere.
I'm so relieved.
The only thing we need to replace tomorrow is the sticky pads that hold the front number plate on.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
That's the only thing. So lucky.
And that's why we're celebrating with another dinner out. Right guys, I'm just quickly going to explain what's happened today because we've obviously not filmed anything. And are you holding her? Okay, Izzy's going to hold out Aurora. Right, I'm really quickly going to do a quick rundown of what happened. If you feel like you need to interrupt me, feel free. So we're driving down this road today, and this has happened a few times. There's been really big snowbanks on the side of the road, and these snowbanks, if your tyre gets into one, it kind of sucks you into it. So we've been avoiding them, obviously, this whole trip. Now this road we're on today was like 150, whatever I said before, kilometres long, and it's a straight road, so it's literally the most beautiful, insane road you've ever seen. We were planning on stopping to get the drone out, It was gorgeous.
Aurora was asleep,
I was about to say,
so
we just
we were
hadn't stopped
waiting.
yet because Aurora was asleep. It was just a beautiful, beautiful road. We absolutely loved it. So we're just driving along and suddenly the road gets extremely narrow. Like it went from like a 2-lane to a 1-lane, but really quickly, because a massive snow mound for quite far down came on our side of the road. Now, like I just said, it's a straight road ahead. You can see miles ahead of you, so it wasn't unsafe for us to move over to the other side of the road. We had no choice anyway. There was snow like a couple of foot deep in the middle of the road, so we couldn't go through that, obviously. So we pulled over into the next lane, but we didn't realise, probably that would have been okay for a car to do that, but because we're in the big van and it's so wide, as soon as we pulled over, it automatically got the tyres from the snowbanks on the other side of the road. So straight away, as soon as we pulled over to the other side of the road, it got the tyres, sucked us in. That's basically what happened.
As much as this road is a straight road, where this snowbank was, it was not, like the road's a straight road, but it has corners, obviously, but like long sweeping
small corners, yeah.
And when we came out of a long sweeping right-hand corner is where the snowbank was on our side of the road.
Yeah, we just come out of it, yeah.
At normal driving speed on there, which we were only doing 38 miles an hour-ish.
I wonder what the limit is on that. It's 60.
Yeah, it'd be 60 definitely. But anyway, 38 miles an hour is easy doable. 50 miles an hour is doable in those conditions. But we were doing 38.
Just because it was very slippy today. It was very snowy and icy, like the guy said before. So if we'd have been going faster, or at the speed limit, much faster, we would definitely have rolled the van today.
Anyway,
100%.
when we came around the long corner, that's where my lane was blocked with snow.
Yeah.
So I changed over, but as I changed over, there was a lot of snow in the other lane as well. And it just grabbed one of the rear tyres.
Yeah.
Pulled us in as much as I anticipated it. We were done. Like it was taking us. And I was just at that point. I was like, oh, it's got us. And
you was actually saying, it's got us.
And I was just praying that we were not going to roll.
And then as we were stopping, then we stopped, but then we started sinking, and we didn't know where the ditch ended, so we were like, please don't roll, please don't roll, please don't roll, please don't roll.
And then
Luckily it stopped rolling, and we were okay. So then we called the emergency services. A lady actually pulled over and said, do you need help? That was before we'd called anyone. That was like straight away, wasn't it?
As I was picking up my phone to call.
Yeah, and we said, and she advised that we called the emergency services. Now, I just want to be sure because I know everyone's going to pick up on every single word I'm saying and try and pick something out like we've done something wrong or something. So it isn't the equivalent to 999. We weren't in immediate threat, danger 999 style. It was the equivalent to like 111 in the UK, right?
101.
Sorry, 101. So we called them and that's who came out. So it was the fire brigade and the police. Obviously we told them we didn't need an ambulance or anything like that because nobody was hurt. Thankfully everyone was sat down where they should have been in the seats with the seatbelts on. So then they got that.
Obviously at the same time we called our breakdown as well. Our breakdown, we've got recovery and accident for Europe, basically. So
with the RAC.
So they said, okay, wait till the fire brigade get there. We'll call you when the fire brigade gets there because they liaise with each other. And then we'll, depending on what the fire brigade say, we'll make a plan.
Yeah.
Whether we need a tow truck or whether the fire brigade can get you out.
Yeah.
Luckily, eventually the fire brigade got us out.
Right,
but they weren't gonna.
No, they weren't gonna. Literally in the smallest town right now, everybody is watching my vlog right now. So, I don't understand this. Now, I am not saying that I'm right and they're wrong because that is absolutely not the case. They are more, they know what they're doing, I don't. So maybe I just need educating. So, they didn't want to use the tow bar on the van, like at the rear. And what they wanted to do instead, I need to like draw because it's hard to explain. They were like parallel. We were parallel to the road, pretty much. They were parallel on the opposite side of the road, and both of the cabins were in line. So the driver's sides were both in line, but they were on the opposite side of the road, kind of thing. It's hard to explain. What they wanted to do was use the winch that was on the front winch. So they wanted to use the winch that was on the front of their truck onto the. Look, I've got to show you. I've got to show you. Right, give me your phone. So this is us in the ditch, and this is the fire truck. They were parked like there. Now, instead of what I would have presumed they would have done, is towed us out whilst someone steered forward that way.
On the tow bar.
On the tow bar on the back. They didn't want to do that. So what they did was they're on the opposite side of the road, probably about there. And then what they did was they got the winch from the front of their truck and they put it on the back tyre here. And then they tried to winch us and tried to pull the van out the snow like that. without anybody sat in the front, like steering the wheel, and with the handbrake on. I don't understand.
They just made a dodgy noise and they stopped doing it.
It made a loud noise, and then they stopped, and I was like, what are they doing? It's not going to move sideways. Like, what? Again, maybe I need educating. Don't all slate me. I don't think I know best. I just don't understand the logic in that. I don't understand it. That's all I'm saying. It didn't work, and that's when they came to us and said, okay, we're going to go now. We're going to go now because we can't help, but here's a number for a bigger tow that will hopefully be able to help you. By this point, it got dark. Now, like I just said, this roads are scary. And I was like, what? Chris was like, what, you're just going to go? Like, you're just going to leave us, like, with a baby? And they're like, yeah, because we can't help you. So Chris said, okay, what's the number that I need to call? So then the guy gave Chris the number and he said, how long will these take? And then the guy said, probably could be maybe 7 hours. So that's when you was like, 7 hours? Like, we've got petrol, we've got fuel and things, but I'm not sure, I'd have to leave the engine running for the whole 7 hours. Because to have lights on the van, because obviously it's pitch black there's no road lights or anything. If another truck comes around the corner, we've got a white van against white snow, they won't see us, they're going to go straight into the back of us. Obviously the back end of the van was slightly hanging out into the road as well, so it was quite possible that would happen. So I'm going to have to leave the engine running for 7 hours like that. I can't do that. And they were like, well, you know, I'm really sorry, there's nothing else we can do. So then Chris, I was like, can you just try and attach it to the front of the van? What was it you were told?
There's a winch point on our van at the front, and they hadn't even thought about it, they hadn't tried it, so I was like, why don't you use the winch point at the front and drag it out? So they were
happy to try it. They did say they're not sure if it'd work, but they were happy to try.
Yeah, so I had to show them where the winch point was, obviously, which I did.
Yeah.
And then they hooked up and they pulled it out.
And they hooked it up, and then they pulled it and took the handbrake. You took the handbrake off, didn't you? And then somebody sat in the front and turned the steering wheel so that the wheels were facing out, and it moved slightly. So then they were like, oh, this might work now. So then they have to adjust a few things, and then they dug the tyres out a little bit more at the back. And also, whilst we were there, I think that snowdrift that we avoided on our side of the road, I'm calling it a snowdrift, I haven't got a clue what it's called, but I think that was obviously quite new because they got in contact with a snowplow who turned up.
Yeah, came and got rid of it.
He turned up whilst we were still there. It was before it got, no, it was just getting dark when that turned up.
So this is the drift of, this is the snow on the side of the road that I avoided and then crashed. So that, because we came around the corner and there was all the snow on my side of the road. Whilst we were there, they had ordered a snowplow to come and clear the road.
And the snowplow came whilst we were there, and it cleared the road. And then the road was absolutely fine. But and then he told us, like, I wouldn't advise you driving on tonight. I would seriously suggest you drive to this town that we've stopped at now. So I think I've got everything in there. Is that where we are now? This is where we are. We've narrowly avoided what could have been a very expensive. So then the RAC woman rang you back.
Yeah.
It was like, because then the man said he managed to find someone 3 hours away, and then the RAC rang you and said the same thing. We found someone.
They basically what happened was the fireman gave me the tow truck guy's name. Right, he's based in Rovaniemi, which is a long way away. Because in the background of all of this, the RAC were waiting to hear from the fire brigade about whether we needed a tow truck or not. And in the meantime, the RAC was searching for a potential tow truck to use. So the fireman gave me the tow truck man's name and number. I rang him. I got his WhatsApp. We started talking on WhatsApp, which was the procedure because he sends me a payment link. I pay him. He comes. Right. But at the same time, the RAC rang me back and said, "Oh, we found this guy who's based in Rovaniemi. He can come, but the fire brigade have already put you in touch with him. I can see." So basically, the RAC were just going to cover the cost instead of me paying for it. Anyway, obviously we cancelled that last minute because we didn't need that anymore. I feel so freaking lucky because not only are we all okay, but the van is fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. There's not even a single mark on it anywhere. Like I said, the only thing I have to replace tomorrow is the registration plate on the front. Sticky bits that stick it on, because then we had to pop it off to get to the tow bar bit. But other than that, the van is mint. Unfortunately, I think I don't know what's up with me. I'm getting like brain freeze or something like that. We need to give her a proper bath now though, because one side of it's clean from wiping down all in that snow, and one side of it's still black filthy. But feeling really lucky tonight that everything's all good. It's
really funny as well because Chris said the weather conditions, when Chris was saying like, I'm so embarrassed I can't believe this has happened, you know, we drive literally all over the world. Before anyone starts with Chris can't drive or he's driving bad or he's driving dangerously. No, he's driven all over the world and been absolutely fine.
And let's just remember I did this trip last year in you know, in a van, and we're all good.
Just because you know what some people are like, they'll try and pick up that it was our fault somehow. So he actually confirmed, which is really funny because that's what I'd thought as well, that it was the weather. When it starts to come to near spring here and the snow starts melting a little bit, but then it turns to ice and then it melts and it turns to ice and it's just terrible.
Makes it
terrible
really slick.
roads.
Yeah.
Right, let's get some food. Watch you. No, watch this. Watch how strong.
What you doing?
Watch this.
What are you doing?
How is she stood up?
You're not a big girl. You're only 4 months. You need to sit down.
Mum,
Sit down, you little dick. Like she's holding herself up there, look, as well. I'm not even holding her hands. What?
got strong stomach muscles though, like when
She's really strong.
So the last one had broken hips. And
I know,
this one's got
bless her.
super hips.
Oh gosh. And Mila did never stood up. She never put weight on her legs when she was a baby. And I thought that was just normal. Maybe it was, I don't know. But Aurora's the total opposite. Like she's standing up at every minute. Look at her. Look how small she is. What's she doing? Just stood there?
I mean, to be fair, that was because she was in a still for like half I remember.
No, I mean Mila didn't stand up at like 3 months old. She never put weight on her legs.
Okay, so just before everybody goes to bed, stood on that awning light. Well slippy out here tonight. So, I just wanted to show you, it's a bit windy, but I just wanted to show you basically this is where the van was in the snow. And actually, other than having like a proper good clean, like the snow's wiped all the dirt pretty much off of the bottom of the van at least. It's definitely polished the wheels out because they look brand new. But other than a good cleaning, there's absolutely zero damage anywhere. Nothing at all. Thank goodness. And I've had a good look underneath the whole van. The steps I was worried about at first because they were jammed with snow so bad, but they're still working good. And this wheel looks like it's been polished like by a professional valeting company, and that was black this morning, so the snow's done a good job there. Only other thing was that my under neons, I was worried about them, but again they're still working, they're all good. They've not ripped off or anything like that. The only thing that there is obviously there's a lot of snow packed into this step and it's frozen, so it's rock solid, so I'm not messing with that right now. Like I can't even believe this didn't snap off. I was for sure that was going to be a goner, but nope. So the only thing that we had to do was remove the reg plate, because the reg plate was stuck on with sticky pads onto this, and behind here is where the toe attachment is, so we had to take that off to take the screws out to get to the toe attachment. So get some new sticky pads from the shop and that'll be back to normal. Hey presto. But other than that, absolutely nothing. Obviously a lot of snow, like in the headlights and stuff like here. But it's frozen on real bad, so I'm not touching that either. So a lot of snow in the front, but absolutely no damage anywhere. No scratches, no light scratches, nothing. And believe me, I know this van like head to toe. And I've inspected it head to toe. Obviously in the dark, but it's pretty well lit up here. And I can see nothing on the van anywhere, so very, very lucky all in all. Extremely lucky all in all, in fact. And just very grateful for the amazing emergency services that came out to us today and helped us. They were incredible and very funny as well. They were proper, like, you know, the type of guys that you really want to come to you when you have something like this go wrong. Their English was perfect. They were just extremely hilarious and fun and cool. So it was all in all stressful, but you know, I've got to say good experience, and I'm feeling super grateful tonight just for the fact that we can be here in Inari, which is where we are now, right at the top of Finland, and be sleeping in our van tonight and not in a hotel crying because the van's written off and we have to fly home. So, which could definitely have been the case tonight. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. We're going to bed and I'm going to edit, and we'll see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock. We're back into Norway tomorrow on the last little leg of this trip as we start making our way home. But there's still lots to come, so make sure you stick around and we'll see you tomorrow. Good night, guys.